Like that's only a 6-inch. I mean, we have up to 12-inch.
So look at it. Everything's big around here, man. Imagine if you were on a roof. Check this out. You're on a roof and you needed to change the saw blade of your circular saw, and they asked you for a crescent wrench, and you just toss this motherfucker up, you know, to change the saw blade. And look at the ends, like smashed. Something bent it.
Well, you got to think. So you're taking your spindle pushing all that pressure. These can't move. So whatever it takes to tie them down, you tie them down.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's just wild.
You want to see how strong you are? You try and take one off and find out how strong you are real quick.
Right.
We got a job right now. Can't show you. When we go to cut it, that's what we use.
This thing's so fucking heavy, dude.
So we'll put that on to cut with that. Next time you're on a roof and you gotta drill a pilot hole.
All right.
You gotta drill those holes for flashing or whatever you gotta do. I got your bit.
All right.
Throw that up to your roofer.
Oh yeah. See, now that's a drill bit there. If the homeowner ever needs a nice clean hole in their fascia or trim metal, we always consider piloting it first, or we'd recommend to pilot the hole first. So nothing better than the pilot hole 5000 to make that happen for you.
Crazy.
That's crazy. All right, check it out, guys. So I was just at Dynasty, at our Dynasty building. We were at a meeting for the last I got here at 10:30 in the morning. And what's happening is we're going to be acquiring 2 other businesses. So we're trying to talk through the merge, the acquisition process, and kind of trying to come to an agreement. But right now we're going over to our other building. So since, I don't know if I ever even talked about this, a year ago we bought another building which they do machining. So Dynasty does fabrication. What we do there is everything's put together, welded, painted, and then shipped. This is the house, is all the machines, right? So we machine things, then they go to Dynasty, they get put together, do full assembly, and then back off to the customer. And with this stuff, there's a lot of different regulations, and there's things I can say and can't say. So as far as naming the people that we work for and what we do, I used to kind of just say it. Now that we're a bigger size, we have to be a little bit more careful with things like that. But it's super cool. Like from the past videos, you can see where it started, where it's literally Zach, my brother, welding in this little area that we rented, and now Dynasty is 35,000 square foot, and this building here is 22,000 square foot, and then the one we're acquiring is another 15,000 square foot. So it'd be 3 locations, one build, one's assemble, and one's machine. So the machines that we're going to show you inside here are, they're a few $1 million. They're big, you'll see. They're gigantic machines that move all these parts and pieces for these huge companies that everybody would know the name if they were said. A lot of it is confidential, and they don't want you just like, hey, I do work for, right? So we have to be very careful not to ruin our own success, I guess, per se, for lack of better terms. The crazy thing, right, when you want to start a roofing company, right, it requires very little setup. You need really a pickup truck, a van, even a car, a compressor, some hoses, a nail gun, and then you start posting ads on the internet, Facebook, knocking doors. You're posting ads on Facebook, knocking doors, doing whatever you can do to get jobs. It's very easy to start to build a little bit of momentum and do, $250,000, $500,000 in your first year. Something like this, if you're a factory worker and you're looking at this like, man, I need to do that. Like, again, it's totally possible because we did it. But the saw in this building was $85,000, right? Like the equipment, the machines I just showed you are 7 figures. The infrastructure, the overhead, the liability, the cybersecurity system, the amount the cybersecurity system costs is insane because we're dealing with, or some people can deal with, contracts where there's hacking worries, right? But I don't know, dude. As far as for the guy that wants to start this, I think a lot of people make a great business out of a garage, and then going from a garage to maybe 5,000, 8,000 square foot, buying the machine, saving the money, then buying 2 machines, saving the money, buying 4 machines. There's a lot of those size companies out there, and the owners make great livings. My brother's super aggressive. He's like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Growth is as much as you want to put into it, right? So when you're first getting into it, you really want to focus on one thing. If you were going to do, you know, I coach a few people, right? And one of the first things I ask them is, if I'm going to do one thing for you, what's the one thing going to be, right? If we're going to do one thing this year, what one thing are we going to do? You know, keeping your eye on the prize. Though we're going to shoot for the stars, but we want to make sure that we accomplish in tasks. What's up, guys? Check this out, man. I got a lot of emotion right now, and I just got to shoot a video right now because I got to convey what's going on to you, what's going on right now in my mind, because it might be a same spot where you're at or something that you've been thinking about, and I just got to get this shit off my chest. So I told you guys in the last video about Dynasty Fab and me and my brother creating this welding and fabrication aerospace automotive company. So today he had to send out his resignation letter, and man, it's an emotional time, dude, because it's like there's some point where the entrepreneur, the hustler in you takes over and just says, fuck it, man. Like, it's time to create my own destiny and do this on my own. Like, that was before Dynasty started, right? Like, I made a YouTube video of my brother being nervous to quit his job to start his own business, right? And fast forward, you can look at the date of when I posted that, but fast forward to today, July 13th of 2023, right? It hasn't even been that long, and it's like, here's 35,000 square foot. We just left 22,000 square foot with all these people and all these machines in him. It's just so cool what he built, you know? And I mean, I'm not sitting here for a minute taking credit for it at all. I just want to show you the journey and show you the story. I think it's cool. Like, yeah, I get to go in, help them out, get my hands dirty, and kind of see and learn. Just to be part of the company is just so cool. All right, so here we are at the machine shop. My brother Zach's next to me. We're just here to review the work that's going on. So check it out. Here's a machine for you. This is a larger size machine, which I know nothing about. Like 30 inch by 30 inch is like a standard table for a machine. Obviously, this is way beyond that. What does this thing do?
So it'll CNC machine parts. It's a 3+2 machine, so it'll come down, take raw metal, turn it into what we need for a finished product to get to the customer.
So something that's stupid, but I think is real cool is this corkscrew. As these shavings are coming off, this corkscrew pushes it to the end here onto this conveyor belt, and then they end up in this little trash bin, which for somebody like me is pretty cool. For everybody else, it's just a stupid, it's like the dumpster in the tear-off bar, like, oh, it's automatic. But I just think it's kind of cool. Yeah, one time I was stupid and I just put my hand in the bin, you know, because I'm like, oh, it's like a cactus, like you touch it, but you don't really want to.
Use that on. Radial arm drill. This is old school technology, basic drills. It's just a giant drill. That's all that is. That's what you get.
That's cool.
Moves, drills.
Super cool.
That's all over here.
So what's our plan with all this vacant real estate? Are we going to put machines in here? Oh yeah.
It's all throughout.
Yeah.
What this was, when you drop a machine, because the weight of a machine is so heavy, this building has 10-inch concrete. Everywhere you walk is 10 inch.
Right.
Underneath every one of those machines is 6 feet. These pads are 48 inches of concrete. So when you put down weight, down.
Wow.
So you'll have a 10-inch average throughout the building. These are all 48 inches. So when you drop the weight of the machine, it won't crack, and you see the void around it.
Right.
So as you're cutting, the floor is vibrating. It can't leach into here.
Oh, I see.
So that's what all these pads
Wow.
are from. So yeah,
4 foot of concrete.
our goal long term is to fill all these up with mills.
And as fast as Dynasty's expanded so far, I just don't feel like it's that long.
No, I'm sure we'll have a video in the no time of a bunch of machines in here.
Oh
This
yeah.
is the
Watch,
lead time.
watch behind you. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, good miss.
Man.
So this is the baby of what's in the back. Same concept, much, much smaller.
Yeah.
It is CNC controlled, so it is a little bit newer technology. That is the same concept except it's manual. So everything you do on here, you do by hand. You pick up by hand, you run by hand. Everything you do is by hand.
Wow. So this is a monster machine, which I know nothing about.
So these are horizontal boring mills. They are 40 foot, 15 foot height, 12 foot out. So these do not have the automatic tool change, they'll be manual. Same concept as the big machines, except they run horizontal instead of vertical. They do a damn good job.
They're like the rough carpenters.
These are
Or the roofers.
Yes, these are your roofers of the group.
Okay, okay.
These are your down and dirty, fucking make chips, rip metal.
All right, the tear-off team.
Yeah, this is the tear-off team. Those are the finishers, this is the tear-off team.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, everybody can relate to that, right?
Everybody can relate to that. So with these, the panels are concreted into the floor, and it's not just what you see here, it's what you see in the pits. Some of these pits are long, like this pit here, this is the cone holding pit. That's a 14-foot hole when you take that panel off.
Wow.
Measured it.
Wow.
That's the pit. So these machines are made, set down, concreted pit. There's holding tanks, like you can't really see that little hole right there that you can see the pump in.
Yeah.
That goes all the way over here. That's a 10-foot deep hole, full of coolant to keep this thing circulating.
So what you're saying, it's possible back in the day, this is where Jimmy Hoffa was put, and nobody found him again, was in the coolant tank.
Good chances this is where Jimmy Hoffa was put, and nobody would ever find him.
You heard it here first.
But yeah, so the difference in those, like I said, those machines, they have the head that comes down, these have the heads that come out. This whole thing comes in and out, the whole tower. This comes in and out, and obviously you have your spindle. So this would be your spin, this comes out, that comes out, goes down, goes up. So every morning when you turn this thing on, you take a ride all the way up because home's up top. Stand in the carriage, go for a ride. That's how you start the morning, every day.
So for people that don't understand this, and hopefully I get this right and he can tell me if I'm not, what we're standing on is the table. The part would be put here,
Yes.
right? And it needs to have some kind of a design etched into it.
No.
And no.
No, so there's no design. So really you would just take a piece of steel, and on one of our programming softwares, no matter what it is, you just take your piece of steel, mount it up, find its location. So you pick up the ends, pick up your 0 points, whatever. Once you pick it up, so on this machine, you got a machine in vertical position here, or horizontal position. So how these angle plates are currently set is you would take a frame like that, bring it over, mount it to these flat. Then you go through, you indicate in, you know where your ends are, you know where your starts are. The machine already knows what it's got to do, you just got to tell it where to start.
Oh, okay.
So all you're really doing, the program's made with, I don't care if it's 2D, 3D, any object in it. The machine knows what it has to do. The only thing you're telling the machine is where to start doing it at. So you'll go through, you check for flatness, you indicate it in, you level it out, you make sure your part's where it is, you pick up every point. Verify all's well, turn it on, and then the machine does the work from there.
That's incredible. So what would you value these machines at?
It's hard to say, because they are older, but they're tanks.
How many, if a customer had a detail that requires this kind of machining, how many options do they have in companies in the state of Michigan?
There's very, very limited companies with the capabilities we have in this. Here's a handful, like there's some top tier level aerospace companies, some big players that have a lot of big equipment, but this is pushing the envelope with some of the larger machines in the state, without a doubt.
And I would think that's because like the amount of real estate, look how much real estate in this building it's taking up, an entire back bay.
Yeah.
And not only that, but look above, there's a 20-ton capacity crane, which is one of the bigger cranes, two side by side, one to run each side, right? The other cranes are 5, 10, these are 20, 14 cranes.
Just in this facility. But I mean, and part of the crazy part is your machining, the tooling that goes into all of this. Like we can walk over and I'll show you guys the tooling rack. There's a lot that goes into machining.
Look at the amount of C-clamps, look at this. Pick one. Whoa, look at that. Well, it's a good one, eh?
I got a story. I don't know if it's an urban legend or the truth, but I've been told by multiple people when this facility was started, before the owner we purchased it from got it, these plates were here. These are huge angle plates. You can see 4 inches thick. I think they're 14 foot tall. I mean, these are beasts. These were actually brought in from Ireland. Well, if anybody knows anything about what happened in Ireland, they built Titanic in Ireland. According to what we've been told, these are 2 of the 12 that were made to build the bow of the Titanic.
Oh wow, crazy.
Like I said, urban legend or not, I don't know. But
maybe we should call Rick from Pawn Stars and see if we can...
There's no way to, and you can see though the difference if you come, if you look at how these ones are made, they're welded, they're casted. These are heavy, clean, strong plate. Now if you look at this one, we don't make metal like that anymore. We haven't made metal like that in a long fucking time. Just gouged, cast shit.
Yeah, look at this here. See how the surface is not smooth because of how old it is.
It's been beat, it's been painted, it's been... Those probably weigh, I'm gonna guess 12,000 pounds a piece. There's so much that goes into this. So this one, currently under clean out repair. So there's way covers, like this should be covered at all times when you're running. That should not be open. So as the machine moves, there's basically, way covers that go with it. Right now, the green is your scales. That's what tells the machine exactly where it is. This whole machine operates off of those green scales right there.
Oh.
Then you have your gear drive for moving the machine up and down your slides, keep everything sturdy. But yeah, that's the inner workings to make this move.
Of how this thing knows where to go.
How this thing knows where it is, all goes off of those green scales. And these are old, so you got to think like the technology.
How old are these?
So I believe, don't hold me to numbers, these are both 80s. Compared to, if you look at the difference in, like the controller on this machine, we go over to the 30, that's 2015.
Okay.
So just the difference in technology, you can see.
Well, you can see this is pre-cell phone, right?
Now we have
iPhone.
big brick
Right.
You know, when you go over there, you get the curves, you get the cleaner surfaces, you get the full computers.
What is this?
So
Like
it's
you,
an automatic tool changer. So when they set up the program, it will literally, as you just seen, the gantry will come over inside of all this, depending on what program is set and what tool. This will rotate. The yellow grabs the tool out of the tray, swings over, takes it out of the spindle, reverses it, puts it back in, brings the new tool out.
oh, it's
So
crazy.
in the program, we might use 20 tools on per part. It's hands-free. Machine automatically changes all tools and everything.
Can you guys see this? So these are all different heads that go on this machine. So essentially that yellow thing grabs the head and puts it onto the machine. So this big chain looking thing is all different heads. Right? So you tell the robot which one to grab and then it starts machining. So what would you put the value on this machine here? How much that cost?
New price was $1.4 million for this when it was bought originally in 2015.
What's all those?
That's all the tools. So just like the other one had an automatic tool changer, this machine's manual. So you'll go over, take it out, slide this one in. You know, whether you're tapping, end mill, shell mills, reamers,
You can just see how sharp these are to cut
Right.
steel, you know?
carbides, high-speed steels. Every one of these teeth interchangeable.
Damn.
Yeah, like when this runs, you'll bust down all the teeth. Then you got to change every tooth.
Oh yeah, like that one there.
Yeah, that's a bad tooth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a light.
Oh yeah, this thing's pretty fucking heavy. Water bottles. That's nice. I like that. So that's the machine shop. It's very, very cool. Now that we're back on, you get to follow the journey even more. Today we had a meeting to acquire two separate different companies that we're looking at purchasing and building the Dynasty Group instead of just Dynasty Fab. My brother's vision is the Dynasty Group, right? Where we would do fab, assembly, automation, engineering. I mean, we would take the whole concept and bring it to life from beginning to end. But we'll keep you in the loop as we keep doing this. Go back to the video, quit your job and shape your destiny. And then in some of the videos, there's pictures, you know, there's video of me going through the shop and seeing what's happened at that time. And you can compare then, look at the date, and then to today. And you can see the growth. It's just super cool, man, super cool.